Well, my name is Mohammed Rashid Kamal. On today's episode, we'll go ahead and talk about the ServiceNow application menu, modules, change requests, and business rules and client scripts as well. We'll dive deep how you can create an application menu, how you can add hints in your application modules as well, and also I'll show you the tips and tricks where you can easily find your all contents for your application. Let's say if you have a change request table where you can find everything like the business rule and all the logics behind going on. I'll show you that one, and we'll also talk about the what are the conditions that a given business rule can run, and as well as the types of client script. So those are the focus of this episode, and we're gonna spend a little bit of half an hour today together. Today is Sunday, February the 6th, 2022. It's around 9 a.m. here in Washington, D.C. It's kind of sunny and beautiful. Welcome, everyone. So, those of you who are been in ServiceNow, ServiceNow just released the new release, which is the San Diego. Let me take you to that one. So the San Diego is just released. It's really coming with a lot of new great feature, and you see that we are in San Diego, right? So I just upgraded my instance to a San Diego. So I've been using Rome and Cubic in Paris. So ServiceNow really bringing a lot of new features. We say wow when it comes in Rome, and now we got San Diego. It's a pre-release. It's really great and got a lot of new features. We will take a look at those the release features and all of that cool stuffs. And today, let's go ahead and start talking about some of the interview questions and answers. So, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Mohammed Rashid Kamal. I am an architect, been in ServiceNow, doing a lot of work specifically on the integration part, ITSM, ITBM, governance, risk compliance. And, those are, and the security aspect as well. Those are some of my familiar and been working on that area. All right, so we will go ahead and start. So the first thing, what is ServiceNow? For those of you who are new, what a ServiceNow is, you might wondering what a ServiceNow is. So a ServiceNow is a cloud-based application service. So it's a cloud-based. When I mean cloud-based, so by just logging to the URL, right here I am on dev developer instance, so where you can go ahead and use your username and password, where you can be able to log into your instance. So that's called an instance, and you can log in there, you work your work from there, and you can also go ahead and access a number of things based on your role. Now let me take you, the most basic thing. This is just the most basic thing I want to show you. So the first thing in ServiceNow, the UI here, what you see is this is called Application Navigator. Application Navigator. So you navigate different applications. So the one you see right here, self-service. So self-service is the application menu. The application menu. Under the application menu, you have modules, different modules. So like the home page, business application, dashboard, my document task. Those are called the modules. So you got an application right there, application menu. Then right after that, you got modules, different modules. And I'll show you how you can easily put those modules in order. Let's say here, it's on a home page. So they're not in alphabetical order, but they are in a certain order here. Home page, then after that, there's a business application, dashboard. You might wonder how I can bring the dashboard to the top, right? So there's an order you can put on. So in ServiceNow, the lower the order, it will come at the top, the lower the order. Now if I go ahead and open the home page here, and you see there is a pane because I am an admin here, I'm gonna click that pane and I want to edit it. So I want to see what ServiceNow make that home page to be at the top right after the self-service. Now when I open that, you see that the order is 50. Just talked about order, right? The order makes it in order. So the lower you put the number, it becomes all the way at the top. Now if I put this one here 1000, this is going to change it from being at the top to all the way down. And you see the title right there. So that's the title called home page. And this home page is part of an application menu called self-service. I already said this is called application menu. And that's where you're going to link it, right? The application menu. And if I click this one, this magnifying glass, you will see there are several application menus. Now I'm going to click it. I'm not going to change, but I'm going to click. So these are, it's going to load. These are some of the application menu. All right, system user guide, system OS, system mailbox, manage document. Let me bring this one to the middle so you guys can see it. All right, system mailbox, manage. So these are some of the application menu. So clicking that is going to bring you to a new table called system menu. And that's what's an application menu, and that's what the module is. So you see that, apology, you may not be able to see what I click under the application menu, but you see that self-service. So you have several different types of self-service, different types of application menu. So you can link them. So under that application menu, you got what? Different modules. One of the modules like the home page, business application, dashboard, my document task. Now, all right, so we talked about what an order is. And hint, what is hint? Like, how can you provide a hint? You see right there, view home page. Maybe one of your requirements is that your client might ask you, hey, Mohammed, can you please provide a hint? My client, maybe your user, may not know what a home page is, so I need to put a hint. You might be asking, hey, can you go ahead and create a module that has a hint? Then when you hover over, it will tell you view your home page. Now under that, you see right there, view your home page. If I want to change it, this is where you're going to change it. View your home page. All right. Now the display name is right there, home page. So the title will be captured under display page, display name. That's where it's going to display. Now, if I'm going to go ahead and make a change here, if I add, for example, 1, 2, and try to save this one, the display name is going to change to that one. So if I go ahead and save it, all right, now, might take some time. And right there, the home page display changes from home page first, and then now here, home page 1, 2. And then for now, you may not see it. There we go, immediately become home page 1, 2. So now your client might tell, hey, Mohammed, homepage, they didn't understand. Can you change it? Can you change it to SNC homepage instead of being a homepage? So you can you can configure it. So that's what we call in ServiceNow configuration instead of customization. Customization is something that you have, you automatically change it and you own it. When you upgrade from release to release, let me show you what the release we are in now, right? Which is we are on the San Diego. When you was in Rome and you customize something, then that's you own it. You are the responsibility to make a change to it. So it's now we're not gonna. But if you configure, make a change. If you make a configure, yes, that's fine. You can configure it and we're not gonna break when there is a new release. Just like this every 6 months. Thank you, ServiceNow. So we got that beautiful feature right there. Now, it doesn't make sense if I say home page 1, 2, but I can say I might have different types of home page, and I can say SNC home page, which is ServiceNow Start home page. Then if I do that, SNC, all right, SNC, SN ServiceNow Start home page. So if I do that and go ahead and save it again, the home page display name will automatically update because this is a cloud-based. You don't need to wait your testers, or your release team to move things from one instance to another instance. So it's a cloud-based. Whatever you do right here, your codes are automatically saved in the cloud. So you can see instantly the change. Like if I have another user who's logging right now from, I'm logging here from Washington, D.C. If someone is logging from San Diego, they will go ahead and see that change immediately when I make a change here because it's cloud-based. Everything goes through the internet. Now, we talked about the order. It's very important to know the order. The lower the number is the higher it will be. Now, let me take you to the second one. So SNC homepage. Now, I'm going to take you to the business application. So mind you, keep this one in your mind. We are 50. We give it 50. So it was 50. Now, if I click the business application, what do we expect? A number higher, which is 55. So now you prove me true, right? Now it was 50, now 55. Then if I want to make the business application, your client might ask you, hey, can you please make business application because it's being used very high in my client. Can you make it all the way at the top? Of course you can do. You just need to swap. That was 50 and this is 55, so you can change. If I make 40 the business application, and you'll see what's going to happen. So I'm going to make it 40, which is 40 is less than the 50. Now if I go ahead and save this one, you'll see the change automatically. Now I saved it and just give it a sec so that it will automatically shift the order right there. Business application goes at the top and SNC goes down. So that's what you can do. Now this one doesn't have a hint. And now when the ServiceNow create the business application, they didn't add a hint right there. Now your client asks you, hey, can you go ahead and add a hint to it? So what a business application is, please, I want my users to know what a business application. So I'm just going to go ahead and add SNS business application. So these are our SNS business application. Now if I go ahead and first hover over before I save it, you don't see any hint, right? There's no hint. Now if I save it, you will see the changes immediately. Right? You will see the changes immediately. I'm going to go ahead and hover over. This might load in a few sec. You see right there, right? SNC business applications right there. So the hint. So that is what really important driving you. So we talked about application menu, what an application menu is. Okay? And we talked about what a module. So these are the modules, right? God talked about the submenu or the modules. Now if I go ahead and scroll down, you'll see that there's modules here, right? Modules. So if there is another submodule under this, you might gonna see it here, but there are none you're not gonna see. And another thing, the client might ask you that, hey Mohammed, can you go ahead and restrict this one, this business application? I don't want it to be seen by users who are not administrator or admin. I want to restrict. So what do you need to do right there? Clicking the role. Okay, the role. So when you click the role, you can go ahead and add a role on it so it doesn't be seen by every people. Only those people who have the role. Right now, since there is no role here, anyone can see it. Anyone who is able to log into this ServiceNow instance, they can be able to see it because there is no role. So if you make it no role, that means you make it public. So you have to be mindful that when you don't have a role, that means you're making it available to every person that will log into your instance. Now, let's go ahead and talk about very important topic in ServiceNow, module in ServiceNow. Change. 3 types of change modules. Now, if I go ahead and type here, shifting a gear, right? There are 3 types of change. Now, if I go ahead and click here, there's a change module right there. Change management. We're gonna go ahead and open by clicking create new. Now, when I click create new, I'm gonna go ahead and create a change request for my company. All right, change request. Now, you have no pinned models. When you pin a model, the model will show in this tab and you can access directly. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at. So there are 3 types of change. What you see here is there is an emergency change, there's a normal change. Normal change, these are happen in day-to-day, normally. So it need to be what? Normal change. So the normal changes are the day-to-day and they need to be approved by PAB. Okay, what does CAB stand for? Change Advisory Board. So this normal change, they need to be approved by CAB. And this is, by the way, a new UI feature that we have here in San Diego. I have not seen it before. And as you can see, it's really beautiful. You can pin it. So you can pin your change model. So when you create new, since I don't have pinned here, you're not going to see, right? So when I come to my model here, I can go ahead and pin this one. So that is most common in my company. So, and when I click new next time, I should be able to see the pinned one right there, normal and also emergency. It's gonna take me directly to that one. Now, let me go ahead and take you to the normal change. Yeah. So now, normal change. Now, you can translate to this one to any organization that has an issue or a problem. They want to make a change process. Now, what do you see at the top right there? The process. It's going to be first created, okay? Then will be assessed. It goes to be authorized. Someone has to authorize it, all right? Someone has to authorize your work. Need to be authorized. These are the process flow for a change management. Authorized, once someone authorizes, that change needs to be scheduled when it's going to be done. A good example here I can give you is that, let's say, you have in your company, you've been using Word for managing your Word for doing some office work, Microsoft work. And then you decided, hey, we need to change. We're not happy using Word. We need to change from Word to a Google Doc, because Google Doc you can use online. Even still in Word, you can do Microsoft Online 365. You can do online. But you may be not happy with the price that you have in Word, and you want to change it from Word to a Google Doc. Now, you create a new change, right? Because that requires an approval. And you will go to an assess. Assess means you're going to assess, hey, is this good for our company? So you're going to assess the value. So you compare the benefit and the risk. Then after the assess, someone has to authorize. Authorize means, okay, this is good. Yes, let's move on. Then from there, it needs to be scheduled. So the schedule is when this is going to be completed. So let me go ahead and take you to the tab right there. Got the planning tab here. Justification, why you want to change from Microsoft Word to Google Doc. You have to put your justification. An implementation plan, and you need to have an implementation plan. How you gonna, is it just a one-day move from Microsoft Word to a Google Doc? No, you need to have a plan. What are your transition, okay, in order to avoid any outage in between? And what are the risks? If I move from Microsoft Word to Office to Google Doc, what are the risks? What are the impact? All that need to be analyzed. And also the backup plan. What if you change from Word, Google Doc, to a Google Doc, and Google Doc doesn't work? Okay, you didn't like Google Doc. What are your backup plan? You need to have that backup plan. And also, when are you gonna say that's successful? What are your test plan? How are you gonna test it? So when I hover over, you'll see the hint there. So the test plan, it details the planned and completed test prior to your implementation. Now, I'm going to take you to the second tab. It's very important. This is the schedule. These are the planned start dates. When are you going to start your work? When are you going to end your transition? And this is the does it require a CAB approval? What does CAB stand for? It's Change Advisory Board. If it require, you're just going to go ahead and take it over there. And the workflow is going to pick from there. And when it needs to be approved. And this section, you will see that there's actual start date. When you actually start the work, and the end date, the actual end date. And are you gonna CAB delegates? If you're going to delegate to a CAB, you can do that as well. And CAB recommendation if there is any. Now, change has a lot to do, a lot to discuss. We're not gonna be able to finish it in just a 30-minute video here or an hour video, but I'm just going to show you all of that can be done easily using the change request. Now, we are still on the scheduled phase. And then what about you implement it? When you implement this change request, you got to have that implementation. All right, so implement. After it get implemented, it need to be reviewed. Someone have to review it. Now, if I click here, right, there are 3 types of change. Now, earlier I was asked here on the comment, what are the 3 types of change? So here are the 3. What we're doing right now is a normal change. All right, normal change, emergency change, and there is standard change. Standard change, these are a change that are standard change. These are really frequent. You don't need to ask an approval for it. So standard change. And when we say emergency change, these are the change that doesn't give you time. These are really life-threatening, okay? Doesn't give you time to quickly go ahead, and you need to quickly go ahead and approve it, but those are an emergency change and you need to have that time as well. Now, you gotta go ahead and move it to implement, it need to be reviewed, and once the change is completed, it need to be closed. Or even you might go ahead and cancel it at the end as well. So this is a very good example, and you might be asked, now this change request. Now let me show you what really the meat and bone of this change request. Now what do you see over here? Need to have workflow, business rule, UI policy, client script, all of those that could feature. How can you find them? I'm gonna click here under the 3 menu or anywhere at the top by making right click, and I'm gonna click configure. So when I configure, and I'll come here and click all. When I click all, this is a tips and trick, right? So when I click all, it's gonna bring in everything that this change request form has. All right. Now, what are the things? So you see that there are business rules here. So this configuration management, which the change request has 114 business rules. Look at that. That many business rules. Now let's take a look at one of the change. We're not gonna go through all of the 114, but let's take a look at one of that. This change request, this business rule say that abort change on a group. Abort means cancel it. So now let me go ahead and open in a new tab so you can see it, what this business rule looks like. When I open it, it's gonna go ahead and load here. Now this is a good example of a business rule. Now this business rule has a name, abort change on a group. And what is a table? Change request. That's the name of the table, change underscore request. That's the name of the table. That's applied into this table, and that's where we find it. Now, change business rule has 3 sections. 3 sections. First, when this going to run. You write a business rule, it is active, when it's going to run. If this condition is met, it's going to run. If this condition doesn't meet, it's not gonna run. This business rule doesn't run, it's not gonna be effective. Now, what are the conditions? First thing is, when it's going to run, this is going to run before something happens. It's gonna check. Before something, the change request is open, it's gonna check. Hey, let me go ahead and check. Now, 2 things here, insert or update. When you insert a new record into your change request table, it's gonna run. Or when you update a record in your change request form. Now, let's see more of some of the conditions here as well. Assigned to is not empty. This is going to run when your form doesn't have an empty assigned to. Assigned to means when you assign your change request to someone. If it is empty, it will not gonna run. So it must not be empty. Assignment group changes, and this is going to run when your group change. Your assignment group, if you change it, today you assign it to IT technician, tomorrow you assign it to a business group, then that's going to run. And the third one, your assignment group is not empty. It shouldn't have to be empty. So the first very important part of a business rule is that when to run. When is going to run? You have to set it correctly. And by the way, one of the interview questions is that when. There is before, after, async, and display. You can put your business rule in 4 different ways. This, what you see right here, is before that change request form is open. There is after, and there is async. Async means asynchronously. When you open the form, automatically will this business rule is going to run. And the display, when that form display, your change request form is going to display at that time this business rule is going to run. And now let me take you to the action part. action. What's going to happen? You didn't say anything here, okay? So you can do a couple of things. You can show a message for that. Hey, banner message. Or you can abort the action. That means if they want to save, you can tell them, oh, you cannot save, like that. And now let's move on to the third part, which is advanced. The third part, which is called advanced, requires some scripting here. So this must be turned on. When you turn on, or when you check mark one under the advanced part, you'll have the script. Now this script got with two very important things. First one is condition again. What is condition? That is the condition need to be fulfilled in order this script to run. Now this script is gonna say, hey, do this. But if this condition doesn't fulfill, the business, this script will not gonna run. Alright, now that's all about this business rule. Now I'm gonna take you back to here. So we got that many business rule, and there is client script. How many? 14 client script. These client scripts are like notifying the client, notifying the conflict. If there is a conflict, it will notify. There's a planned start date on the change validation. Unset unauthorized required comments. Or you can empty assign to on a group change. When you change the group, you have to change the assign to. That's another very important thing as well. So this is also a client script. Let's take a look at that one. Inputting the assign to when you change the group. Now, this is maybe because whenever you have a group, you will auto assign it to the member of that group. So whenever you're changing the group, yes, you have to empty. Now this client script, and another thing, let me show you here under type. How many types of client script? This is also another interview question. Types of client script. So there are 4 types of client script. On sale edit, on change. When you change the form, that means when you change the group, the assignment group, the users that you put it on assign to will change. There is on load. When you load the form, on load, on submit. When you submit the form, that will execute as well. So these are the 4 types of, you can create 4 types of client script. This is a good example for on change. Whenever you change the group. Now let's take a look at, let's dissect this script. So this script is on change again. Whenever you're making a change on the form, now if old value is different from the new value, it's gonna run when the old value is different from the new value. And you get in the G scratch pad from the form value of the new value. And if the new value is different from empty, if it is not empty, or new value is null, or old value is different from the new value, or new value is different from the G scratch pad form value, then it's gonna happen. If new value and G form, getting the value of the assigned to and the assigned to value, and you're gonna go ahead and a group lookup on GR of the record sys underscore user group member. Okay, you got the group member of the assigned to. What is the member of the assigned to? Go ahead and query that one, and you need to put another query here. Group.sysid, you get the sysid and the group and new value. You're gonna compare it with the new value, and if the user G form, get the value of the assigned to. Once you get it and the limit is 1, and you query group lookup callback, and else you set the assigned to empty. If it is not the same, you're gonna set it to empty.
Yes, it does.
Great. So these are so these are some of the client script that you can find in change request. Like again, in change request, you can create a change request, that type of change request, and we talked about the business rule. We talked about client scripts and so many things in change request. Again, everyone, welcome to this San Diego. I mean, in San Diego. We have talked And also we dissected and talked about the client script and as well as the business script, how the business rule, how you can easily, or what are the three components of the business rule when they're going to run. All of that we have talked. As an example, we have. All right, thank you so much everyone for being with us. We have covered so many important topics here: the application menu, modules, change request, business rule, client script, and all of that. By the way, these are not, we should have spent more on it, but I think because of the time constraint, I'm gonna conclude this episode. And thank you so much for being with us. Till then, have a great day, everyone.